This is Digital Marketing Fastlane. This podcast will show you how to build, launch, grow, and scale a widely successful online business. Listen to real conversations with proven practical strategies and success stories. You're going to learn how to generate more traffic, more sales, more profit, and customer lifetime value for your online store. Coming to you from the online marketing experts at Voy Media, here's your host, Kevin Urrutia.
Hey everyone, it's Kevin Urrutia here with Digital Marketing Fastlane. Here joined with Eric Philippou. Hey Eric, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
Good, I'm doing great. Today we have a very special episode. We're going to be looking at Truebill. Truebill is a pretty innovative company. One thing about them that's pretty interesting is it's a little different than some of the brands that we look at previously. They actually have an iPhone app, so they also do a lot of iOS downloads. So it's actually funny because I'm not sure about you, Eric, but I don't really see too many iOS download ads just naturally in my newsfeed. Do you?
Yeah, depending on the niche. Like if you download one of these mindfulness apps, like you get swarmed with it. That was one where, or you download like a game or something, you get swarmed with these like other ads. That's an interesting one where I see the algorithm is super sensitive. Whenever I download a new app, which is pretty rarely, I notice my feed is flooded with similar apps that do the same thing, to the point where I didn't even know this many number of apps existed. And that's actually something where I don't see with Truebill, which we're going to go into. But yeah, I don't see a lot similar to Truebill simply because there aren't many similar to Truebill. There's a million mindful meditation apps, million apps for, games and stuff. But, this is something that is relatively unique, unless the competitors are just not really advertising very aggressively. Probably one of the number one things they do well is they're just a very unique offer. They have a clear solution to a problem and very few known competitors. Another thing they do that we're going to show you is their ad creatives. Just like all the other brands we audit, they have mass volume, mass variety, really good ad creatives, probably better than any of the other brands we've audited. And what they do best, in my opinion, compared to other brands I look at, is they use a very serious emotional appeals, very smart psychological tactics. Sometimes like Dr. Squat, like other brands use humor, and they say the word, you get this free thing. It's like a free offer. They use that. This is just pure smart. And we're going to talk about that. Another thing, and I don't know how much we're going to be able to show this, but we'll just talk about it, is easy user experience. Once you download the app, it's super fast. And then one thing we can show is their landing page optimization. A lot of the ads will go to their app download page, but their website itself, we're going to show you, it's really smartly optimized. It's a very simple landing page, very smart. And, it's just great to see that. So we're going to show you that and explain why it's always good to see a good landing page and break that down. So yeah, we'll talk about the unique offer. I kind of expand on this a little already, but it's a real solution to a real problem. So whenever like that's the case, it's not just like some trinket or some plastic thing from China. When it's really solving a problem, the benefit is so clear, which makes advertising, that's such a strength when you're trying to on acquisition channels. So that's really important when you just have a very real solution to a very real problem, as opposed to just being something that looks cool. And another thing, like I said, they have very few competitors, at least none that I see. I tried to look for some that are very similar.
Eric, you're forgetting where I used to work at.
Oh.
Mint.com.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting part. So I did see mint.com, and when I downloaded the app, I'm like, this is a lot like mint.com.
Yeah.
But I downloaded it like their main selling proposition, and this is a very smart move.
I think I know where you're going to say. Yeah, I'm waiting. I was waiting for you. I was waiting for us to say this part. Yeah, because I was like, as I saw it, I was like, this is really good. Yeah.
Well, I bet mint.com even does this. Yeah. Like, I bet they do, but Truebill has been able to differentiate themselves just because they focus on canceling subscriptions and tracking your subscriptions.
I was like, I saw that and I was like, wow, this is so smart. I was just like, and I was like waiting for, I was like, am I going to say it on this podcast or you're going to say it? I was just like, this is such a good one. But yeah, because it goes with exactly what you said. Like their app, Truebill, is just like a mint.com or anything like your Chase, your Bank of America. You can see all this stuff. But what they have is what you're saying for the unique sound proposition of an issue that people have right now, which is, I have all these subscriptions. I need to be able to manage them and canceling them. That is so unique, and it's such a strong sort of USP essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And even if other services do offer it, They just don't talk about it. It doesn't seem sexy, but that's a real problem to a very real solution. You can make very good ads at, and they're relatively successful. They have a lot of funding from very competitive, I guess, venture capital people. Y Combinator, not to name drop, but I suppose Kevin says they're a big deal. I don't know a lot about them.
Yeah, they're just like a really big incubator out in California. Yeah, that's just like they fund a ton of companies.
Yeah, they're funded up the wazoo. I'm not sure if that means they're very profitable right now, but anyway, it's a big sign. It's a very unique offer, and unique offer with an asterisk. The way they position themselves is unique, and that's even smarter. I mean, not even smarter, but if you can do that, and if you can actually be unique, that's great too. But position yourself as unique. We're going to see exactly how they do that in many smart ways in their ad creatives. Before we go into their ad library tab, I'm just going to talk about a few things to look out for that we're going to be talking about. So they are a Y Combinator startup, and Y Combinator uses this demand curve growth course. They have all their brands go through that. Something very similar to our structure too. We arrived at a lot of these ideas independently. We saw this course and we're looking at this, and it just makes a lot of sense. So we think in a very similar way at Voy Media. And you're going to see right away, you see how they use personas, angles, and value propositions. And those are some key elements of that demand curve growth course that I was talking about. But another thing they do huge volume, huge variety, emotional appeals. And then one thing, it's not really a cornerstone, but it's something very unique to these mobile apps. They show the mobile user experience on Instagram stories a lot. And that's pretty cool because if you're on a mobile app, if you're on an Instagram story and they show the user experience, like the user interface on your Instagram story, it's almost like you have the app. So it's just a very more immersive, interesting experience there. And we've used that for several brands we work with who have mobile apps or big mobile experiences. And it's a really good tactic to do. So that's something that you're going to notice too. So we're going to go into their ad library. And, kind of like I mentioned last week, you can't sort by the most impressions anymore. You can kind of go by recency and stuff. But yeah, so you can't really see what's been running the best. But, they have 250 ads. Just make sure we're in America, right? Yep. Basically they have a lot of ads running. And something that jumps out at me right here, they do a lot of what's called different thumbnails and hooks. So that's something we can talk about that immediately is basically, every time we go through an ad library, we talk about this. And that's basically, the hook is something to get attention. That's really exciting. I'm going to go ahead and click one. It might have some sound. So
fine.
if the sound shocks you, just cover your ears.
I had no idea how much I was spending on subscriptions.
So right there, real quick, we'll see her talking soon. But by the way, they were running an ad similar to this a few weeks ago, and they're testing everything. So this is probably a winning style. They're
testing this sort of hook, this messaging.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea. First of all, it's a quote about a pain point that probably a lot of people think. I didn't know Amazon Prime. I didn't know Squarespace. I don't like Squarespace. Anyway, but yeah, Squarespace will get you. But it's a very real thing. And people burning money, a credit card, they have others of burning cash here. So they have a lot of different hooks. And then this is one, they also have another hook that's very similar. They go right into the UGC style video of someone smashing a keyboard. And that was one that they've been running for 6 months at least. I remember sending to the team's group chat on Instagram several times. I think it was this one.
It's so hard to cancel a free trial. So many free trials.
Anyway, it's a lot of this style video. It's they have several people, several actors. I guess they're actors.
That's what they're showing here too. Is if you look at all this stuff, it's like the burning of credit cards, the smashing of keyboards. It's like
that anger and that frustration, the emotion you feel at the problem.
Yeah,
right? It's a lot of that. It's really cool.
I don't know if people would actually do this, but it's like the emotion, they're like taking it to another level. I don't remember the last time I've actually like smashed my keyboard.
Of course, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Or like, but it's like something that people do when they're angry. So they're playing into that.
Yeah, it communicates anger, but also look, this is the internet. You're competing with, the whole world for attention, and it just keeps getting tougher and tougher. So showing something like pattern disruption is the main thing of a hook.
Yeah.
Not every you see a million people doing cool skateboard tricks or whatever it is, dunking a basketball, but burning a credit card, I've never seen that before. and then just straight up smashing a keyboard, especially, by the way, it's just noteworthy. It looks like it's in an office environment. So it's like way worse. But yeah, like stuff like that gets a lot of attention. The keys flying around, the violent motion. Like it's like something happening that it's totally not where it should be. Like this kind of thing would go viral. If it was real, it would go viral. Like someone just smashes a computer in a office. I mean, something like that alone is very serious. They call out the exact names. The actual money burning is crazy.
Definitely fake bills.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think actually burning money is actually illegal.
I think it is. Yeah, I know throwing out money is illegal because I threw out a penny one time and my mom, was like, "Hey, go to jail." I'm like, "Oh." Anyway, the money counting. This is a little different one. This is more of like it's not as exciting if you're asking me, but this one here, this hook. We're just talking about hooks right now. We'll get into everything else soon, but this is one, the guy just screaming, about to go Hulk crazy. So let's talk more about like why they're doing a UGC or why they're doing something else, right?
I had no idea how much I was spending on subscription. I'm always finding free trials. I tell myself all the time, I'm going to cancel, and then I don't do it because I just forgot. So my friend told me about Truebill. Truebill made it easy for me to cancel all of the subscriptions that I no longer needed. I found subscriptions I completely forgot.
They're really playing on this cancel subscriptions part. That's like their USP to get people to download the app. Because if they were to make it like, oh, like come manage your finances, that's boring. Go to like, let's do the archive, right? Let's see what the website was about before this, or was it always this sort of angle, right? Because I think this maybe could be important to sort of show people. I'm not sure if they have it, right? Where the website angle and hook has changed as the business has changed, right? Or as like the times have changed, right? So
yeah, I see what you mean. Even their website, just for what it's worth, like take control of your money, manage finances. Right now, the website is like, sign up or something like that. I think you sign up here. I actually was looking at it earlier and it looked different. So like, the angles easily cancel unwanted subscriptions.
Oh,
Find
so they always had this angle.
I'm wondering if that's what they started at, only because I've been getting ads for them for months, maybe even almost a year.
Yeah.
And just because I've been noticing they're good ads. You could go in our Instagram chat, like we send each other this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always thought it was just a subscription canceling company. I didn't even know they did money management until I signed up.
Yeah, maybe they started up as this and then eventually. Interesting. I thought it was the opposite way but it's interesting how if you go up, right, and you go down a little bit, go down right there, like as seen on Dave. We always tell people like, this is so important. Like this company's had this for over 4 years of like, even on their current website, as seen on authority and proof and showing people that like you're a legit brand. That should never be taken away. Like people want to know, like no matter how, like think about this company over 5 years ago, they still have as seen on because they're still skeptics. Right. And of course, and I think a lot of people forget because you're driving a ton of new traffic every single year that probably have never heard about your brand. So it's like them seeing your site for the first time. So I always think it's funny when websites do like redesign and then they're like, oh, check out our new website. I'm like, this person's probably never seen your old website, so they don't care. Like that's a waste of text, waste of banner. Like I was like, you always say all the time, like, oh, check out this is our new website, our new design. But I'm like, I didn't even know what your old web design was. So why are you telling me? But the thing is, like, as business owners, as marketers, you think that like people are constantly checking your website or just like, oh yeah, I need to tell them this. Like no one cares. Like. Yeah,
it just shows a fundamental disconnect between the customer and what the marketers think and the customers. So yeah, I haven't seen that as much lately, to be honest. So I imagine marketers are getting a little more, knowledgeable of that. But yeah, it's definitely a very real thing. And something interesting you said about the logos, the authority, like the two main objections you see if someone like clicks an ad or is watching an ad would be price and trust, right?
Yep.
So price, it only costs like $6 a month or something, I think. So, and like as an app, you think it might be even just free or something. I actually thought it might have been free when I downloaded it.
Oh, it's not free?
It's not free. I'm doing the 7-day free trial, but it's like $6 a month. It's nothing. But they do this thing where they tell you, oh, you save $700 a year. So like, but it's only $7 a month. They're really good at explaining that value to you. And so that's really good. It's almost a no-brainer that you would download it. So what's also good is you also just trust, right? Like especially something like this where you're connecting your bank account basically. Like trust has to be there so much
just
to get people even remotely considering converting. So that's why UGC, these different logos, the quotes, even just this ad copy, I finally have extra money to treat myself. Truebill is honestly a game changer. Stuff like that goes a really long way. Another thing is like the emotions. We talk about that, the way they do a lot of, like they always attack the emotions, take control of your money. That's not as emotional, but a lot of these ads with, I had no idea I was doing this, money is burning, or I think they have a lot more that are really good. But yeah, that style though, it's the UGC. They have a lot more styles of this with a lot more actors just kind of speaking to the camera, saying something that shows they also, even everything about it is about trust. They're consciously thinking about that because it said, oh, then my friend told me to try Truebill. Like that's part of their script. Like, oh, people are talking about this. Then there's quotes. Just every little detail is very specifically crafted in a UGC video like this. So if you want a good example of a great UGC script, this is a really good example. So you could just download the video. You can just right click this, download right now, save the video, upload the transcript. That's just a very good UGC script. So that's something interesting. And that's very important to drive that trust.
These ads are nice. I like them.
Oh yeah. And they have a lot of other styles too. Let's see some of their more.
Yeah, go down.
Like these just launched 1 million of these today and yesterday. Let's see this text style because I've seen this a few times.
Yeah, this text style. People always ask us like in our group, Facebook group, how do we get these type of ads?
We see a lot of them, the way they're done. You can do it transparent with some stuff in the background.
Hey, this is funny, this text here.
Oh yeah, let's see what it is.
No, read the text. Yeah. It's like so true. It's like very real conversations. I was actually talking to someone recently and they use a few brands to sell their products, right? Or they're like kind of like a wholesaler, kind of like a mall, right? Where they sell many brands. So kind of like an online version of that. And we were talking and they're like, oh, I don't know if we should use this company's like logo or their images in our ads. But if you look at this, you're essentially piggybacking off the other brand's authority to say, hey, look, Hulu, Prime, if you can use it, why not? Like a lot of people are scared. This goes back to the other podcast of like this brand isn't scared to say like, stop using Netflix, stop using Hulu. Like obviously if you're Hulu or Netflix, you're probably not happy with this company, right? But it's their value prop. And if you can do something like that, then why not? So I think that totally makes sense.
We work with a lot of brands who maybe they're subscription boxes or something. They use different logos like the Coca-Cola logo or the Kit Kat logo or something, maybe in some exotic flavors or something. And that's the best because this logos people are already familiar with. I mean, that alone gets a lot more credibility and trust.
Yeah, you're piggybacking off their authority. Like if you can put Coca-Cola on your as your flavor, your partner, everybody's going to trust you and say, oh man, if Coca-Cola trusts them, like these got to be at least good because Coca-Cola is a long-standing brand that has such huge brand affinity after years and years. Even after all these sugar-free alternatives, Coca-Cola still is king.
So. Yeah, it's also just a big thing people are familiar with. Like, okay, this is maybe it's associated with it or something. There's some level of familiarity, even if it's just subconsciously, which most of this is. Yeah, they got some good stuff. I want to see some of their, maybe some more. They had the text message video. They had some other ones where they're just kind of showing the user experience, showing the benefits. You save this much a year. See all your spending in one place.
That's good. How about our quotes as their ads? All their ads are just testimonials.
Yeah. They're just so heavy on the authority here. It's really good. And by the way, obviously you see us scrolling like basically infinitely. You see how much. This is the one that's a little different. They've been running a few days now, which is an eternity in this brand. So this ad, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a TikTok ad, right?
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure this is some of the TikTok style. This looks like something that, we made it for TikTok anyway. Let's try it on Facebook and Instagram. This looks like, I wonder if they are using TikTok and how we can find that out, but I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. But yeah, this is Yeah, this is like one of these crazy, weird, funny creatives. They have a big list, and they literally cut it with a scissor. It also says my subscriptions, like someone's like bragging about all their subscriptions or showing them off. And it's an interesting hook.
Yeah.
It's kind of bizarre, actually. It's funny. But yeah, they should go into the steps or something. They got it in the stories. Oh, yeah, very similar. Looks like it's better in this. Nice. So they got a lot of interesting ad styles. They have this one. They go right into... Oh, this is the hook they've been running for like months. This actual girl. My friend told me about it. They keep saying that in all the ads.
They're just showing like, oh, I'm not the only one. All my other friends are using it.
Mm-hmm. Just very subconsciously, like, oh, everyone's talking about this. Because people, even if it says, look, like on the screen, I think it says this is a hired actor who is compensated. Where is it? It says, if you look closely, it says these are hired actors.
Yeah.
Definitely
have to like
zoom in really, but
yeah.
It says these are hired actors and stuff, but people still fall for like, oh, this is a real video or something. Things like that. Like us marketers will not realize it. Anyway, they're trying every single thing you can think of. Just something like this. I think there was some more where they just showed like a split screen, like people smashing things more. Anyway, we can go on all day. It is basically this trend. And they're doing this trend of things getting smashed and heavy emotional appeals and then front loading a lot of trust and authority because, look, we're scrolling forever. We're still in July. Like, they're testing everything. So if you're in this situation in one of these niches where trust is the number one factor, even if it's a supplement or like hymns, like we talked about last week, going so hard on trust is huge. Even if you don't need it that much, if you can just establish it stronger than anyone else in the niche, people are going to take you more seriously. So this is a really good brand to look at to see how they're attacking trust so much. So yeah, if you're looking to improve your ads, looking to get more credibility, if you're a new brand just starting, or even if you're pretty well established where your authority would be even stronger, you definitely have to do this. Look at all their ads, check out their ad library. I like to look at it like once a week, basically, to get an idea of their testing trends.
They're testing so much money. They're testing so much. Like this is more testing than people do in like a year. They do it in
a week. Yeah. And what's interesting is like you can tell they're iterating a lot too. Like a week or two ago, they didn't have this guy with the beard. Actually, they might have. Oh yeah, July 22nd. But yeah, you can tell they're iterating on it so much. And we're seeing more and more trends because 6 months ago when I was looking at it, it was maybe a lot of other different kind of videos that you don't see now. But then you saw some videos, they're starting with the girl smashing their keyboard on the table. And now now they're pretty much only like they have so many different variations of that hook.
Yeah.
Just to iterate on that. They have different variations of the UGC. So maybe that's going really, really well for them.
And then, one thing too, if you look at their website and I was just looking at some of their careers, you can see that they're looking for, growth marketing managers, lifestyle marketing managers. They're just hiring a lot of marketing people, and also just like a bunch of data analysts to sort of help with this marketing. So obviously they know that paid, and obviously just marketing in general is what drives their growth. So they're looking to hire a lot of positions there.
Yeah. And look in their ads library, like, they have so many, like, look, they have 62 people in the United States. Then, like, they're like 65 people or something on their ad account. That's a lot. Like, even if we go to, what was another one we looked at? I don't know if Lumen has that many people, but, like, that's just so many people. All right, Lumen has 71.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
But, they're testing a lot, too. Like we said, Truebill, Lumen. And I think on Y Combinator, there's only a few people who work at the company. So maybe they have some huge agency or something, but yeah, they take the growth very seriously. They are very well funded, so they're probably spending a lot too, I imagine.
They also make more money with their other thing called like lower your bill, where they get a percentage of however much they lower your bill by.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then you go down, don't repay bills, they negotiate, and then it says we split the savings. So that's how they make more money.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, another part that where we looked at them, if you want to talk more about the creatives, otherwise their user experience, this one we'll talk about pretty quickly, but it's just important to know, just because the last few brands we looked at, they had a very long funnel. You know, the nature of the business like Hims or Noom even, which we audited a long time ago, you know, they have very long funnels because they're in the health niche. So like they have a lot of really important questions you have to ask. But in this case, there's not really a lot. It's even though, yeah, you have to set up your bank account, but I did it. Listen, like basically the experience, if you're the user, is okay, you see the ad. If you like the ad, the landing pages, I don't know if you realized, um, you know, one goes to Google Play, one goes to iTunes or Apple to download it. They're probably targeting by device, I imagine. But yeah, I mean, it took like 2 minutes to sign up, and even connecting my bank account, which, you know, that's always a big trust barrier whenever you're working with a company. But, you know, they tell you they're going to sign up. So, you know, people kind of know that going in. Yeah, it was a super fast process. So probably like from the time from the time you see the ad to you actually have the benefit and you see the subscriptions you want to cancel, maybe like 3 or 5 minutes or something. So it has that instant gratification factor, which is interesting for these app download campaigns. That's not really a factor as much for many other business models. Even Hims, you see a price, then maybe you order it and it takes a few days to ship. Or lead generation, you fill out a form, maybe you get an automated email, but maybe there's a salesperson who will call you really instantly if they're really great, you know, if they're really sharp in their sales process. But you know, there are very few other business models where you get that instant gratification, which is really interesting. So I'm wondering how that plays into, you know, their psychology. They can be really aggressive in the call to actions. I don't know. It's really cool.
Yeah. Great user experience.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if that, I'd be curious to see what their cost per download is. I bet it's pretty good, honestly.
Yeah.
In terms of cost per this paid sign up, I bet that's another conversion, obviously. But yeah, another thing, we're talking about their landing page. It's pretty well done. We even saw it from a while ago, I think, in the Wayback Machine. They always just have a very clear, you know, benefit. You know, find, track, and cancel your paid subscriptions with one click. By the way, this is the one from 2016.
Yeah, it's crazy. Right still,
and
yeah.
Clear,
very value driven, or you know, clear benefit driven.
Oh yeah, and they of course they front load the authority, which I imagine they're also doing. Yeah, I saw that here too. It's just they go a lot more authority. Looks like they have some links to them too, for some more credibility. Yeah, they links to the actual, you know, thing. That's pretty cool. Yeah, just how it works. What is Truebill? You know, it shows different benefits. People love it. I imagine, are these influencers or just regular people?
Oh, they might be like real Twitter users.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I mean, very simple. Less is more is definitely an approach they're taking here, which you have to. You know, some of the landing pages we launched, the best performing landing pages are the simplest. But yeah, their landing page optimization is good. They have that value proposition in the header in both versions. They're constantly doing that for a long time. Their authority is always really strong when you have the logos, and they make sure to show it everywhere. And then their call to actions are obviously very easy. Like the buttons are easy to find. It's not hard to find the buttons. So I don't know why it says quiz funnels. Oh, that was the old template actually. Yeah. So like, you guys are seeing a real-time blooper.
I was like, where's the funnel?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll find it. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Well, there was no quiz funnel. It was just the template. I literally used the template from the one we did last week where there was a quiz funnel. We are human over here at Digital Marketing Fastlane. Yeah, and people overlook these landing pages, but you know, we have a situation where, you know, just recently for Father's Day, there was an ad campaign where, you know, just the rest of the month outside of this landing page, we're bringing ads to a product page for the same, you know, same creatives, even the same offer, or very similar offer, and the conversion rate was 6%. We made a landing page that goes right to the like it just kind of shows the value propositions very clearly. Great gift for dad. It's a bundle, high average order value, by the way. The conversion rate was like 14%. It was pretty much more than double. And, you know, the average order value was higher because it was a bundle. It was just really, really good. So these situations, you know, we're actually publishing a case study about that. So if you're interested, just shoot me an email, eric@voymedia.com. I'll go ahead and just send you a link to the case study, but it's going to be on our website soon under the case study section. So yeah, go ahead, check those out. Why landing pages are super important. We talk about it pretty much every podcast episode. We mention it because they're almost as important as creatives.
Yep. And then something else that we want to go to the landing pages again is they have a lot of great landing pages for SEO too.
Oh yeah.
For example, some of their keywords are cancel Hulu, cancel Amazon Prime. So they rank well, like top 5 for those. And then that leads to a call to action to download their app to sort of help with that sort of service. So that's sort of another one. If you like Google real quick or just do like cancel Hulu, you should see them too. But this is another great way of building landing pages and really going down more. Just go down. Truebill right there. Yep. And then it says we can help you cancel your Hulu subscription. Truebill is a free app, and basically enter your So like this is another way where you need as a business owner, as a marketer, think about who your audience is and what are they searching, because this is actually like a true problem, right? So this app solves a problem because there's so many queries around this that they have it for like almost everything. Cancel like XYZ company, they have a landing page.
Look, I mean, Hulu has literally an ad for cancel Hulu out, and I guess easily update your Hulu. I'm sure they make it hard to cancel, but
yeah, they probably want to do update it or like, hey, maybe like go a lower plan, right? Something like that. Yeah.
There's a couple of those websites where they make it like almost impossible to the point where you gotta, go to my bank and cancel it. But yeah, it's great that this is a great service. So that's good.
Okay, cool. Anyways, that was I hope you guys learned a lot. We're going to put this on YouTube. We're going to put this on the podcast. Like I said, Eric did a great job doing research on this brand. We have a few other brands lined up that we're going to do an audit of. If you have any more suggestions or brands that you want us to look at, just email Eric at Voy Media or Kevin at Voy Media. And we're also going to be thinking of how we can improve these brand audits, such as buying the products, opening them while we sort of talk about them. That way we can make them even much better reviews and audits. But
another thing I want to note about Truebill real quick, I probably should have opened with this. It's the most important thing. It's like, so they're doing all this creative stuff for a product that's not visual at all, really. It's like a more of an idea. It's an info product. It's a digital. Yeah, they have their user experience, but it's more like it's a non-physical product. And those are the hardest things to market. It's not like a physical object or like a cooler or like a grill or something. So you have to get very, very creative. So if you're in this situation, if you're making an info product or a ClickFunnels or something, even a course or whatever it is, Truebill's a really good example of how to just like visually communicate something that's not really visual. So yeah, definitely check them out once a week. Look at their ads library once a week.
And I think exactly what you said, it's when your product isn't physical, it makes marketing much harder, but then it makes your marketing much better. With physical, your cheat code is that you have the actual product. But if you can think of your product as this non-existing thing, how can you make someone buy it? That's even better, because then they'll definitely want your product. And the way, at least we need to think about too, is like in the supplement space, right? There's a lot of like ebooks or courses on like recipes or how to lose weight fitness fast, right? That's just like an ebook. What you're really selling is the outcome. So when you're advertising, when you're doing your sales copy, you're sending like, hey, here are all the benefits you'll have, how much you'll lose weight, how quick it is. And then you sell them like that info product. And then on the back end, you then sell them a way to achieve the results faster and quicker. And that's when you sell them like a supplement or like a powder. But it kind of goes what you were saying before. It's if you can get that marketing right for this product that doesn't even exist, then you're even better when you have a physical thing, because you can actually achieve that thing that you sort of told them to believe. I mean, honestly, it's like religion, it doesn't exist, but people believe it, right? It's the same thing. Yeah.
Very big emotions. There's very big emotion appeal. You do this or else you'll, burn for eternity or whatever it is.
Exactly. It's exactly like, I think if people want to read more about that, it's like they read Sapiens. It's exactly it. Humans, we believe all this stuff that's not real, but there's such huge emotional attachment to it, right? But think about religion. It's just something that someone said, and then people believe it truly to their heart. Like that's real. And that's exactly kind of how religion is just the ultimate marketing, right? It's like,
I saw someone say that Buddha was the greatest marketer of all time, or Jesus was the greatest marketer.
I mean, yeah, they are. They're making millions of people believe something that's not even real, like what are quote unquote real, right?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I'm not nothing against religion. It's just like, it's just how I think like that's psychologically the thing behind it. Think about how these religions sort of just manifested into your head, and you can't touch it or feel it, but you just believe it. And it's kind of what you were saying before, Truebill. It's like you can't like physically see it, but it's like a digital app, right? So yeah,
it's an idea, but it's also very
an idea. Yeah, that
do it. So like if you just said, "Oh, this helps you cancel subscriptions," that's cool. And honestly, that alone is a great value proposition. But when you put the emotion, like I can't believe I've been paying for Amazon Prime, you know, I'm still paying for that, or I've been paying Squarespace for 28 months in a row without realizing, you know, things like that, which a lot of, you know, like these huge emotional appeals, then the anger, someone smashing a keyboard or lighting money on fire. Like a lot of these decisions are emotional, and they show the emotions like almost as well or better than any other brand I see out there. So that's really good.
Yep. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Check us out on digitalmarketingfastlane.com. We have a website. We also go to voymedia.com if you're looking for help with Facebook ads, creatives, or just like Eric's actually working on a new consulting offer for our partners. We're getting a lot of people asking us to help them on one-on-one. So it's a new thing that we're coming out this year. So Eric, we're super excited to talk about that. Maybe not this podcast, but later on. But that's something that people keep emailing us about. So we have to do something about it. We got to give what the people need. So
that's good.
But yeah, leave us a review on iTunes or give us a thumbs up on YouTube. All right, thanks guys. It's Kevin here, and then Eric as well.
This week's episode of Digital Marketing Fastlane was brought to you by the performance marketing experts at Voy Media. Join us again next time as we'll be bringing you more tips, techniques, and know-how to make your online business the very best that it can be. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, we'd love to hear them on Twitter at Voy Media. Thank you.